back in 1967. Can't forget the day it was on Christmas Day,
How old were you when you came back home?
like 23.
Once you arrived home, did you have like a set plan what you planned to do?
No, not really, just to see Chabelita and my daughter and my sisters, and of course some of my friends. But the first thing I did when I walked inside the house, I took off my uniform and I threw it in the trash. I didn't want to do anything about the government sending us over there for nothing. All you went through that 1 year, it was really bad. All the chaos and the killing and all that stuck with you for a lot of years. It took me maybe 8, 10 years to finally really settle down and have a normal life.
When you came back home, throughout the years, did you ever get help like from the doctors since you were a veteran?
No, I know I could have. I probably could have got some money because I had some friends that right away they went and put a claim. But since I was so mad about the government, I didn't want anything to do with them, so I didn't do it.
Was it hard to sleep at night? Did you ever have like bad dreams?
Yes, it did. Thank God I got a job right away, but then, especially if every time I drank and and start thinking about it or watching the news or the movies of war, then it was hard. So sometimes maybe I didn't even sleep all night. I guess at some point the drinking I thought it would help, but it didn't. And I used to get a lot of anxiety, and I would go into the garage and hit the walls with my fist and make holes on the boards to to get pain so I could stop the anxiety. I started drinking nothing but beer. From there, we went into hard liquor, and when I had a couple of problems financially, I decided, oh, I have to quit. I quit 2 different times for 1 year, but it didn't help. So I figured I gotta quit forever. So finally, in 1988, I quit forever, and that helped. That helped. Everything changed. In '88, I must have been 44. And any kind of habit there is, if you have to quit because you have to, or medical reasons, or you have to go and get help, is hard. I found out from other people telling me that when you quit because you want to on your own, then it's not hard because you want to. So you can be around anybody drinking and you won't get the urge to drink because you already put it on your mind. You don't want to drink. Now, if you go to the doctor or Alcoholics Anonymous and they're trying to make you quit, it's hard. You'll quit for a while, start again. Quit a little while, you start again. That's hard.
Do you think you would have still be alive right now or still be the man you are if you never stopped drinking?
Oh no, I would have probably killed myself already drinking so much because when I stopped, I was doing nothing but hard liquor, and that's not funny. But thank God that I quit, and that's why I'm still alive. The only thing sad about when you quit drinking, you lose all your friends. All your friends that hang around with you, going to the bars and everywhere, or having parties, you lose them all. But it's okay. I got my family, I got my kids. That's all I need.
Any other stories you want to share when like you came back from the war? Like I don't know, work or I don't know. No stories. You have no.
Well, I have a lot of stories, but most of them, you know. Uh, I used to. I finally started having fun when my boys started playing little league. So that took off a lot of memories from the war away because I hang around with them a lot, and then I kind of be their coach and teach them, and then finally one he didn't want to play no more out of the two boys, so then the little one he did. So then I spent most of the time with him, and all the way through little league, all the way to high school, and a couple of years in college, and that took like 6 8 years, and it kept my mind off. And finally, when he was like 18, he started playing on the men's league. And the men's league, yeah, I had to sign for him because he was underage, and they play only on weekends every Sunday. So he did that until he was like 28, 29, and had a lot of fun. But by that time, I didn't drink no more, but I was always pitching in for the guys, buying beer for them and buying equipment, balls and stuff like that, dinner, and they all loved me.
Now that you're older, do you regret or wish you never got drafted in the first place?
No, because that's something you can't control. That's controlled by the government. Of course, I wasn't supposed to go because I was the only surviving son. But I figured since I dropped out of school at 16, maybe in the army I learned something. And I guess I did. I learned a lot that when I came out, I got me a decent job. I, I didn't have much education, and since I was 16, dropped out of school, I went to work nothing in the fields, and that's the only thing I know, work in agriculture. But the thing happened that when I turned 21, they drafted me, and that's what happened. I've learned a lot, and the war taught me a lot. That when I came out, with thank God, with help with relatives, I got me a decent job, and I guess I did pretty good. I lasted there 44 years until I retired. It was a printing job. I started as a like a driver, then a shipping clerk, and then later on move up to making plates. 'Cause they used to make plates out of rubber or plastic, and run some machinery and stuff like that.
How did you feel when you found out Isabel was pregnant again?
Well, I guess happy. Didn't care what it was because at that time, I mean, they didn't tell them. It was always a surprise. So of course, when he was born and it was a boy, then I was happy. Well, my mother married after she was a widow for 8 years. She remarried, and the man that she married, he was a photographer. Had a studio in across the border in Mexico. So since I was 12 years old, I would go over there all the time on weekends, especially in summer, and I started learning a lot. And he had a couple of brothers. One of them was about my age, and we always mess around in the dark room. At that time, it was nothing but black and white and developing, and you had to develop the film and then the pictures. And of course, once I came out of the army, I've always had a camera, so I started shooting pictures, just family and stuff like that. And then from there on, I just kept doing it.
Before, when you were in the war, and then when you came back from the war, can you tell was your and Isabel's relationship different?
Well, it got better because when we first started, uh, we wasn't that serious, like off and on, off and on. And even though we had a daughter, but when I came back from the army, that's when I put my cards on the table and I told her, okay, if we're gonna get back together, even though if we get married or not, but I hope we did someday. We're gonna stay together for life. And I told her, I promise you, way back in '67, we get together, I'm gonna stay with you until God do us part. And I guess I kept my promise. We never got married.
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children.